Yeah.
We here.
Another week, another dollar.
Damn, it's just the two of us.
Golly. Episode 65 will be one for the record books, folks. Here we go.
This is a disclaimer. We're not journalists. We're not reporters. We're not insiders. We don't work with or for any pro wrestling companies. We're not pro wrestlers, nor have we ever been. We are not backstage at pro wrestling shows, nor are we getting any dirt from anybody backstage at pro wrestling shows. We watch pro wrestling shows, and then we talk about them, because we're pro wrestling fans. And chances are, if you're watching or listening to this show, so are you. And by the way, Tony doesn't know you. Vince doesn't know you. Hunter doesn't know you. Hunter's name isn't even Hunter. It's fucking Paul. Get a grip. Watch your mouth. This is the Ringside Club.
Peace to the gods, the Ringside Club hard. My name is A.O. Say you heard around the dawn. Blame Boogie while you at it, blame Chad Law. K-Fabe is dead, break the fourth wall. Whatever style, whether it's lucha or strong style. Come through the beam, you fly, burn the bar down. Back to the pad, chop it up for the par. Ringside Club, intro to the squad as the show starts.
Ooh.
Yeet.
It's tag team wrestling this week, ladies and gentlemen. Episode 65 on your bitch ass.
We are the unofficial RSC tag team champion.
You know what I'm saying? With your boy, Flame Boogie Chad Law, here holding it down for the week in pro wrestling for our guys Ayo and Ron the Don, who are, I think, doing the family thing. They're out on assignment, right? They're just chilling, man. They might even be at a wrestling arena near you. Who knows? But shouts out to us for holding it down this week. We're at fucking 65 episodes. We're goddamn. We're over a year into this shit. We fucking got a bunch under our belt, and I think this is the first time Chad and I tag teaming this bitch. So how you feeling this week, bro?
It's been a minute. Last time we tag team was probably like in the 30s, like early 20s, 30 episodes. So
we should name this shit the while you're working episode.
Yeah, while you're working, you know what I'm saying? Tune in to the RSC, you know what I'm saying? Right now. Word. Thursday night live. We are somewhat on time, but we here. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know you're gonna catch before 10 o'clock. You know what I'm saying? Y'all gonna catch us. You know what I mean? We right
here to feel y'all out, man. See what the fuck's going on this week in professional wrestling. We're always highly opinionated. One day I would love to work in somehow where we could have a live interaction with people who have actual questions live and what's sparking interest during conversations that we have and shit like that. I think that would be super dope, but I think for now we're killing it, man. We're chilling. So I mean, what do you want to do? We could do some faux pas around the ring shit, and we could just give our opinion, and we could say, hey, what happened on Raw? What happened on NXT? What happened on Dynamite? And just give our commentary. You know what I mean? Like, we don't have to keep it pro wrestling. We could just really give our opinion on shit if we want to go heavy like that.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I mean, usually AO comes through with the news real quick to start it off. I already got some stuff pulled up, like Deonna Purrazzo, her Impact contract will be expiring on January 1st. She's exploring free agency. I don't think Impact will be picking her up again, but remains to be seen. I figure that's pretty fresh.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting. Deonna Purrazzo's a talent, man. If they're not picking her up, that must mean I don't know what's going on there. She's too talented for them to not pick her up. I think there's something. I'm not saying that trying to stir the pot, saying there's anything wrong, but she must have something else planned, and they're just honoring those plans or some shit like that. Like that's what I would think.
Possibly waiting it out. I think Deonna is a Impact lifer.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But with being an Impact lifer or being a lifer at a company, there's that ceiling of you've done all that you could. Like, Deonna has done everything short of win the Impact World Heavyweight title now. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, like, if she does go anywhere else, it will be very, very it'll be the interesting time for sure. Like top of the year release, because that'll be right in the fold of all the expired WWE contracts. So like those new class of people will be coming in. So I think it'll be real unique to see where Deanna goes, man. I hopefully I could see her going back to NXT. Crazy enough, man. The women's division is strong in WWE.
Quiet as kept. I don't think she's the only female wrestler going back to the WWE these days. I mean, that's just my opinion, but you know.
Yeah? Who you got? Who you thinking?
I would love to see Sasha go back, man. Honestly, just for a short stint even. But I would love to see her go back. I think if they could bring Mickie James to the Rumble, and no disrespect to Mickie James, speaking of Impact, but Sasha Banks is a much bigger star than Mickie James. Mickie James a pioneer for sure, but I think Sasha Banks is a much bigger star. So if they could bring her back, I don't see why they can't bring Sasha back. That just sounds like money to me. Speaking of money, take a look at these fine gentlemen that were out in the wild this week.
You see us, man. We was outside.
Shouts out to the
actives.
Yeah, shouts out to them people at HOG Wrestling. We were out in where were we? Queens?
We were in Queens,
Jamaica.
The NYC Arena. You know what I'm saying?
That's where we were at.
Yo, purely wrestling, that was a very good show, yo. Like no gimmicks, no frails. Like I enjoyed that as a wrestler. I
had a great time.
You know? I had a really great time. I sat through we all sat through every match because like it was match to match, and that's what I appreciate. It wasn't,
you know, this is genuine too because we're living in an era where it's not just me that's in the corner on my phone. I feel like everybody's in the corner on their phone, and to be able to be at a live event and actually accept what's happening, receive it, take the whole event in, and not be distracted by my phone, I thought was dope. The only time I grabbed my phone was to record some shit because I wanted to have a piece of the moment and just bring it home with me. But yeah, man, shouts out to Matt Cardona. Finally met him in person. Me and Hal Haney have done a bunch of work with him. That guy is a fucking professional wrestler, bro. Like
that's a heel right there. I was telling you, if you've never been to a wrestling show, you definitely saw Matt Cardona for the first time and was like, this guy's a heel.
I'm here to say I am finally indie trash, bro. That's me.
Woo,
I'm here.
Woo, woo.
I'm here, bro. I enjoyed myself that much that I will not ever speak down on indie wrestling. It was dope. I'll definitely go back. And, granted, you guys both, or all four of us said that was one of the better shows we've been to as well, because some of that shit going on in the crowd was fire. I'm pretty sure we got bled on. I don't know. There was a whole bunch of shit going on that night. But
what would you say your
shouts out? I can't believe I'm saying this, bro. This goes against everything I believe in. There's not many times that you people will hear me shout out anyone that has the same complexion skin as me, and it's not even, it's not any hatred. It's just, this is what it is. You know what I mean? I see stuff out there, and I'm interested in it, and I'm like, all right, this shit is fire, and I highlight it, right? Well, I saw this wrestler this week live in the flesh, and his name is even like. Yeah, his name is even crazy, but this dude Gringo Loco, bro. Like you know that this is, but this is how you know this is genuine, Chad. I'm not the fucking lucha guy.
Yeah,
I'm
you're
not the
lucha
fucking
or the indie guy. I know.
Even though I'm the white guy, I'm not the white guy. You know what I mean? Like I'm not attracted to that type of shit. I'm usually at the cool table, but either way, you know what I'm saying? It just is what it is. And so I just want to say I really enjoyed myself. HOG, you're doing something right because that shit was fire. And oh my God, we have a run-in right now.
From who?
There is a run-in happening live. Yo, I'm about to add him to the stage. Here we go. Speaking of Adam. Yo, how do we get this guy here? We got the wrong. Oh. AO's video is not showing, but we got his audio on here.
Video not up. I'm gonna pull her up for that one.
Hold on, let's see. Gonna add a third camera slot. I got it. There we go.
What up,
AO
brothers?
is here.
How we doing? Live from the boogie down. What's good with y'all?
We conjured him up.
From the car phone right now. That's crazy.
From the car phone, boy.
He in the car phone. That's crazy.
We conjured him up.
Places.
Yeah, man. Had to tap in with the fellas. Got that dog gang going outside in these streets too. Man.
Oh shit.
Rep.
It's the Booger T and the I don't got a cool nickname for Stevie Ray, but it's the Harlem Heat edition.
Nah, this is dope. This is dope. You know what I'm saying? We literally was just talking about, you know what I'm saying, HOG, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
I caught a little bit of the HOG convo. It was a great
Yep,
show,
yep.
fellas.
Tap in. Thanks for the
Yep.
house. You know what I mean? Ayo gave his rundown of the show. We was just like, shit, how we feeling about it, man? It was purely one of the best wrestling shows
That's a
I've
fact.
physically been to, like in some time.
Yeah, we were just giving
I had it.
Cardona his props too. I couldn't believe,
Yeah.
like, just seeing it live in the flesh. Like, obviously, you see wrestlers working a crowd on television, and then you see it live in person, and it's like, oh, all right, we've been to AEW, we've been to WWE. I've finally got to see, the top of the top in the city, in New York City. So that shit was kind of dope, man.
Nah,
I
it
would
was
say,
fire.
were
What
you?
was you was mentioning, was that your first time, Boog, that you saw Gringo Loco?
Yeah, first time I ever
He's fire.
even saw him at all. I had no idea who he
Yeah.
was, no clue.
Nah, he's dope. He's dope.
Funny shit is, he looks like this dude I came up with that, statute of limitations, but back when this shit wasn't cool. You know what I'm saying? He was the guy that made sure we were all situated. You know what I'm saying?
Word.
Caught
Yeah.
Gringo Loco on MLW early, a couple years ago. He's been around, a lot of the indie promotions. He's still holding it down. So I had a feeling you were going to take a liking to Gringo Loco, man.
Yo, honestly, and I will say there was a lot of strong personalities in that match. I don't remember too many people's names. I remember Cash Flow, and the whole situation with Jay Bougie. Shouts out to Jay Bougie on the run-in, and then the social media follow-up. These boys are doing this shit right. They got the social media follow-up with Prince Nana and the business card. And listen, guys, if you're gonna do indie wrestling like this, then I'm all the way tapped in, man. I can't front. If it's fucking this exciting and they're telling stories, then fuck it. I'm in, bro.
You saw what they lined up for next week. I mean next month, but they got the Brace for Impact joint popping up.
Yes.
Yep.
And I was saying, like, this is such a dope time for Jay Bougie and guys like that, because they're seeing an in with other promotions that could take the talent once they see them and take it to another level. And it's just like, it's very smart on them.
Listen, man, when shit we all know this shit enough to know that, I hate to do the fucking cliche bullshit, but it is what it is.
Hold on a second, but before you even go, we caught Billy Starks literally at
right before.
At MLW, you know what I'm saying? Got the flick and all that. And like less than a month later, she's all elite type shit. So
exactly.
Like, what I love about these shows is we catch these guys now, we see them on social media, but like, yo, we never know what can happen next month. Like they might, like Jay Bougie might pop up on Rampage on some like, yo, I'm Mogul Embassy now. You know what I'm saying? Like,
well, shit. Last week, AO's fucking chilling in the living room. Now all of a sudden he's got fucking commercials and fucking shit in Times Square and fucking billboards. So, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
People do. You can't
learn AZ. You can't the alphabet right now.
You can't fall asleep on the talent, bro. You fall asleep on the talent, and you end up finding out you got outworked, and you're now also, being paid less than the competition. So you always want to stay on the precipice of money, my friend. So shouts out to all the wrestlers working hard, bro. Even the women's match was fire. I don't remember her name. I think it was like Violet something.
Yeah. She was quiet dope. As kept. Violet has been she's like one of the first people I remember seeing at House of Glory. I've been going since 2017, and she was wrestling on the cards back then.
Chad was killing me, bro.
Also.
Was there a follow-up as to why the other shorty never came out?
I don't remember.
Remember her opponent was supposed to face this black chick like Kiana or something, and she just never showed up, so then she had the replacement. So I don't
Chad, bro, we don't know no fucking Kiana. You know that.
I don't know.
Come on.
I just was going off what was advertised. That was the only match that was advertised, and just like
rest in peace, Earl Simmons. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying? It's planned. But I would say my favorite match though is definitely it's got to be that Swerve and Mike Bailey. Like just off pure entertainment and wrestling, like no gimmicks, like the Carlos and Christian Ramirez and Son, Chris Mason. I'm probably saying their names wrong, but I'm freestyling right now. They match.
Yeah, homie with the American Psycho gimmick.
Yeah. Like pediatric.
Charles Mason and Carlos Ramirez, La Sombra.
Carlos Ramirez. Yes, that match was brutal. Match was extensive. A lot of frills, but that goes along with the
quiet as kept. It was kind of like an AEW event. They had us in there damn near 5 hours. I was in there for a grip. Chad came a little bit later on, but
They did.
We were there past midnight. Cardona's talking about getting an extra payday. Shit was just a good night. But
we were saying it's just pure match quality. Like there was no backstage like crowd playing to the crowd. I mean, from what I saw, and I saw fucking 5 matches, so it's like that shit was back to back to back. Like
yeah, it was a stacked card. There was a lot going on.
Killed it. And
yeah.
If y'all
really
seen
good
the clips on social media that I posted of AO and his just whole genuine excitement of seeing this Mike Bailey and Swerve match, like that can show y'all how good this match was. You know what I'm saying? My man looked like it was his wedding day. Like he looked
Christmas
like
morning.
He was like,
Christmas
son,
morning.
I'm actually seeing a Mike Bailey in Swerve this close have a banger.
Word.
Like not no filler bullshit. Like they went at it. You know what I'm saying?
And I'm damn near 40 years old, and I suspended disbelief and found myself yelling at this motherfucker and calling him Peter Pan because he ain't have no shoes on. So when I realized that I was like
crazy.
that involved, when I realized that I was that involved, and I'm like egging on the wrestlers, I'm like, yo, shit. I guess I am a fucking carny, a little carny mark piece of shit like I thought I was. You know, it is what it is.
So I guess my question, since I got y'all here, is there anybody from House of Glory currently that y'all have seen that y'all could see popping up?
100%. 100%.
Like in 2024,
no question.
Since we're already at the end of the year, you might as well.
Yeah. There's.
Well, I mean, my quick answer is gonna be Cash Flow Ken Broadway. They've been low key building that company and brand partially around him for years as it is. But he has, like, as far as total package goes, he can talk on the microphone, he can go in the ring, he has a presence. Cash Flow for sure.
He had the crowd control. He was fucking with us. He was talking shit. You know what I mean? I enjoyed that. Aside from Swerve, honestly, you know what I thought about too before we even got on tonight, and I would be really interested to see it. I mean, we didn't see him last night on Dynamite. Maybe we'll see him on Rampage this week, but I would love to see Mike Santana bring that HOG belt live onto AEW. I mean, it's more important than the fucking FTW championship. It's nice. I would love to see that on live television. It'd be nice to see the cross promo.
That's really dope, actually.
Yeah.
I can see, like, honestly, Mike Santana taking TNA over once the AEW contract runs out. Like, top of the food chain over there.
Oh,
like, I know we talk shit.
What a sleeper.
I know we're dismissive when we say, you know, the X Division champ, but talk about a real, like, the TNA heavyweight champion. I'm pretty sure it could be.
Yo, and
Mike
I don't
Santana.
even be needed dismissive when I say X Division champion. Let me not get that fucked up as an impactor.
Nah, I know what you mean. They're mostly cruiserweight guys that you're talking about. To be real, first.
Johnny Gargano.
Yeah.
Johnny Gargano.
Yeah.
Amazing X Division champion. Like he would be more cared about there, but
yeah, like Mike Bailey would be an X Division champ, like immediately.
He's a multiple-time X Division champion, actually.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Honestly, Mike Bailey puts on some bangers. Check out the match with Will Ospreay from their last pay-per-view. Like
he doesn't wear shoes.
Match of the year candidate.
I used to be, it used to fuck me up, but trust me, I'm with you. I used to be like, Mike Bailey shit is just fucking me up. But as time goes on, Riddle don't wear shoes, and we fuck with the bro.
Yeah, but shouts to Johnny Shipes.
That doesn't wear shoes, man.
Yeah, nah, you can't just come out the house with no shoes.
None of the head shrinkers, none of them. I don't like it.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know, bro. It is what it is.
On is mad funny.
I don't know, bro. I be judging people whose badass kids come out the house with no shoes, and then you got like a 30-year-old dude out here with no footwork. Come on now, you don't got to be nothing crazy.
Mad foot sweat, shit is heinous.
Yeah, no doubt.
But now
I think we just gave HOG like 20 minutes of solid coverage here.
Yo, hell yeah, we went to the show. It was a fire show.
Fire.
Like why not, bro? Like. Went to a kick-ass show. They definitely deserve the time. Shout out to HOG, all the people that we got that followed us from there, that saw us. You know what I'm saying? Shout to, the whole fucking those wrestling girls, mutual homies that was up there. It was a lot of good mutual people.
Yeah, that's crazy. I saw a picture afterwards. I had no idea that they were even in the building. I was just in my seat the whole time. So
wait, who was there?
You know what I'm saying? We had the gang, the wrestling girls there. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yes, shouts to Ciendo. Ciendo was there. Peace to Nate from Storyline Tees. He was in the building. Peace to Heartbreak Julio. He was in the building.
There was quite a few people that was like, yo, y'all here. And it's like, yeah, we all here. But I didn't realize that SmackDown was Brooklyn at that same time. So, which pretty much brings me to my next topic.
Yeah.
SmackDown being pretty fucking hot right now, man.
Yeah, SmackDown's on fire. WWE in general is doing some numbers. From what I've seen, like, all right, let's just be real. Let's talk about this. All we have to use, and I'm not trying to be cliche again or boring or annoying, but let's just use Cody Rhodes as a benchmark, right?
Okay.
Cody Rhodes
I'm still here,
literally
fellas.
went
Off,
from
by the way.
being booed off of AEW television to having fanatics have this guy hand sign like hundreds of weight belts for every show he goes to. Think about that. The show sold out. Number one. Number two, they're mostly sold out. They're just filling arenas. Number one, but he's pushing all this merch. A guy that was literally being booed out of the arena in AEW. Forget about where his career was at that time. The person he was portraying.
Sometimes I go back and I watch that last 4 months of Cody Rhodes in AEW. Just randomly, I'll go on YouTube. I'll be on my YouTube shit and I just watch like Cody versus Sammy and like the last 4 months, the finale of TNT title run. And I'm just like, wow, why did we want this guy out of here again? Like,
right?
What? Like, yeah, the Anthony Ogogo shit was bad, but like,
yeah,
what the like? Was this such a? It was interesting because it's like such an elite crowd, and then you look at the Bucks now, and it's like nobody cares they're even going right now. Like they can just stay away, and I feel like the vast majority feel that way. So it's like the AEW crowd is vastly different. Like we can completely all agree that like totally different crowd because when you look at Cody, just a couple months later, to this day, bro, like you can't find too many people that are like. Boo, Cody. It's like, nah.
Yeah, it's not going to happen. Nah. It's not going to happen. You have a better chance of, people cheering fucking Tozawa. I mean, I don't know. I guess people cheer Tozawa, so that's not really a big deal.
People will boo Seth Rollins before they'll boo Cody Rhodes, I feel like.
Oh, for sure. That's not even a question. Seth Rollins might start getting booed right now. If they're, you know what I mean? It depends on what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's 50-50 with this guy Punk too. So if they really do the Punk versus Seth like two Rams, in like one of those National Geographic fucking videos, you just got two fucking dudes butting heads and shit. But
speaking of that,
I don't know if
I think Punk goes to the Raw.
Oh, no, for sure. There's no way that SmackDown has all that firepower. Raw needs a flagship person too. You know what I mean? Like, and I know Cody's that, but if Cody's beating Roman for the championship, and I say if, because I don't want Brian H. Waters to have a heart attack, but I just say if.
So, good topic, good timing on that one. My bad. Shit.
No, you're good.
Woo! That Ric Flair.
What Ric Flair energy drink?
Yo, I've never sipped one, and I don't think I ever will. Honestly, it looks like liquid death. And I just can't fuck with that. You know what I'm saying?
We got a comment here from Jeff. Any word on Riddle? I don't know if he's asking if we have any word on him or if there's any word out there on Riddle.
He cut his hair.
Did he?
Yeah, he cut his hair. He's got the Yakubian buzz. You know what I'm saying? Like the Zach Morris kind of look.
Oh shit, no doubt.
Got the Zach Morris type of season 1 type of vibe going on right now from what I'm seeing.
You feel me? Prayers and
Yeah, he's got a preppy look right now. Like if he puts a polo on, he's definitely doing a golf classic. You know what I mean? So it's like, all right, this is gonna be new Riddle rebrand. You know what I mean? He's probably gonna wear
whatever.
Maybe he wears shoes in his next endeavor. Maybe that'll be a complete change of pace if Riddle starts wearing shoes. But
I think it's just cleaning up his act. Maybe I don't really know, but it's possible. Looks are everything. If people didn't eat with their eyes, I wouldn't have a job. You know what I'm saying? So it just is what it is.
All right, so let's get back to Raw. Right where my thought was at with that one. Raw is loaded with baby faces right now. Like, Jey Uso could have beat Seth Rollins this past Monday, and I would have been ecstatic.
Same.
Why that didn't happen? Because Seth Rollins has to keep winning. He has a bad back that he never even mentions or shows ever, and there's that. You know what I'm saying? Sucks to suck with his back. And it's just like, yo, dog, Don't you have a bad back? Like, why?
You know, we were comparing Orange Cassidy to Roman when we should have been comparing him to Seth. They're very similar. They have similar roles in their company. You know, I just feel like you could count on Seth to have a banger. You could count on Orange Cassidy to put on a show. They both have that crowd interaction where as soon as their music hits, boom, you know, people are in it. Seth is in a strange position right now. He's almost like his boy Mox. He probably needs to take a break, but because of all the competitive shit going on, how can you take a break right now?
You can't.
Imagine the mental and the emotional distress that has on a human being too. You know what I'm saying? It's not just, all right, fuck it, I got to work harder. No, that takes a toll on you. It takes a toll on your wife, your kid. I know, I'm living it. But yeah, he's Seth is really good, yo. Seth doesn't deserve the title to be taken off of him, but Seth definitely has had that title long enough now where I think we could give that to somebody else, which brings me to my next question. If not Punk for the title next, who would you like to see Seth lose that title to? Who do you think that deserves that title more? Or who do you think you'd like to see with that title more than Seth or even Punk, if Punk would be the next one?
I really want Jey Uso. I can't front, yo. I really want Jey Uso to, even though he has no track record of winning singles matches, I feel like him holding the belt up and like that would have been yo, this is about to be a fun winter. This is not going to be the mundane winter. Like now this is about to be like, yo, Jey Uso is the world heavyweight champion. Like, and then it's crazy because for a change, it feels like early 2000s. Like, I don't know how y'all feel about it, but right now it feels like early 2000s in WWE again, which is a very good thing. Right. When I say that, it's like everybody has importance. Nobody feels that down buried unless you're like Cedric Alexander levels. Like you know what I mean? Like Too Cool or just like mad, you know what I'm saying? They you know what I mean? They had a tag title run, but like, yo, when Too Cool came out, they had that motherfucker rocking. Turn it up. And you look at like Chad Gable. You look at like fucking LA Knight. I'll say LA Knight. You know what I'm saying? There's so many people in WWE right now that are like Gunther. You can look at so many people that are like, you can throw the ball to them and they'll just, it's hot. You know what I'm saying? Right. They're credible. So it's like Gunther, he could easily be in the mix. Jey Uso, Sami Zayn, LA Knight. There's so many people that can take the world heavyweight title from Seth, and it's crazy because there's only going to be like one or two people, realistically. He's had a 6-month reign. Do you think they're going to start playing hot potato for 2024? I don't think so.
Right.
They already don't play hot potato with Roman, so it's like I don't see this belt getting the same treatment.
My answer for that question would be like in support of what your explanation is, Chad. It would be Gunther. I would go with Gunther. You know, I don't know if he would drop his title first or not. If he would, double it up for a second or not. I mean, that would make sense. Maybe relinquish it or something. But just because this title is not going to be hot potato, and think about the last 2 championships that he had. He had that UK championship for a long time. He's had the Intercontinental champion longer than anybody else. So I think it would make a lot of sense for Gunther to be like the next guy because it's in steady hands. The matches are going to be fire, and you also know that the reign is going to be meaningful because he's going to be lining people up for a while. So I would go with Gunther. Have him lose that Intercontinental championship. I don't know who. I think it's harder for me to figure out who Gunther would lose that title to than whether or not he's the next champ.
Word.
I'm gonna run upstairs, fellas, and then I'm gonna jump right back on.
I got you.
All right, bet.
Bug, who you got?
That's a good question. So if it was somebody that, I mean, immediate thoughts would be Damian Priest. I'm just trying to think of someone that's been working just as hard and that's featured on the show just as much that would be able to defend the title and have it mean something too. But I don't know if that title is a heel championship. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if that title's meant to go on the heel right away.
Yeah,
That's something I'm not really sure about. But we'll see. Time will tell.
it's a fair assessment because I can understand that logic. You already have Roman as the terror. And the only way I see AO's point being valid if Gunther wins is if Roman isn't champion for the WWE SmackDown Universal brand.
Right. That makes sense.
2 monster long heel reigns, it's just like counterproductive now. It's like, come on.
Yeah.
Man.
Roman, I know he's been champion for long enough.
He's gonna stay champion another year. And I'm cool.
The only time the WWE universe or the WWE in general is going to make a decision to pull the plug on Roman is either after they accomplished said goal that no one knows except for them because they have it, or the crowd decides the next time Roman goes out to not do the thing they do when Roman goes out. And that happens again and again and again. And if that happens, then it's possible we get a change in the tide. But Roman's so over and he's been dominant for so long, I can't see them ever doing that. It just doesn't make sense to me. It's almost like how we feel every time Bianca Belair is in a match. It's like, yeah, she could win. Like I don't really see the other person winning. And then
this is the first time going into WrestleMania that I'm just like, Roman's gonna win, and I'm cool with it. Like I'm not gonna be like, oh, this should have been. It's like, yo, dude,
it just makes sense. Think about it. The only thing that would get a bigger pop than Cody Rhodes defeating Roman Reigns for that championship is if Cody Rhodes does not defeat Roman Reigns for that fucking championship. That's the only thing. I can't think of one thing that would happen on that show that would make the crowd go crazier than Cody Rhodes losing the title at WrestleMania 40. I can't think of it.
I really see it happening. And now that Punk's back, yeah, man. Roman another year as far as world heavyweight title. It's tough. It's tough, man. We all got valid picks. But that brings me to my next thought, actually. I caught an interview with Bronson Reed. And, talking about super heavyweights, the match he's having with Ivar.
Yeah, 305 Live and shit. That was on Busted Open, right?
Yeah, And that had me thinking, I was like, yo, all right. For, thought purposes, it's like, what if WWE had a super heavyweight? Like a 305 Live belt, like a open weight. If WWE introduced an open weight championship, I think that would be super convenient.
The WWE Triple XL Championship.
They'd probably give it some funny name. They would. But I think that's a pretty clever idea. Like between Bronson, Ivar, Gunther, Braun, Otis, there's a couple people in the fray that's like, hey, y'all got a women's tag titles and y'all haven't defended these in months against any credible teams. Like, if y'all gonna keep giving us Ivar versus Bronson Reed every week in different stipulations with the same result every other week, it's like, yo, dog, at least like make it interesting and like put something. We're not getting an Intercontinental title. Fair. U.S. title is locked up. World heavyweight title is locked up. Give them something to fight for. Boxing has so many championships. Yes, we clown AEW for so many titles, but they have 2 companies. What do you expect?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
WWE, same thing. An open weight championship. I beg of you, give us an open weight championship for 2023, please. That's all I have.
Something. We need some more people highlighted on the roster. And I do feel like the drama, the entertainment portion of it does need to be there, but I feel like we could even see less of it. Sometimes when you tally the number of minutes that people are wrestling on live television,
3 hours.
It's not equivalent to what you see on the other company in like 1 or 2 matches. And I'm not saying that that's a good or bad thing. I'm just saying if some of the people, at least the bulk of your audience, may not be there for pro wrestling. Maybe they're there just to be entertained. Maybe they're there to be up on game so they could discuss this stuff with their friends. They don't even really care about the shit. I don't know what they're there for, but they're bringing people. There's people in the audience that are watching the shows live. There's people at home that are watching the shows live. So they're doing something right. I don't want to say they have to do anything different. I do just feel like if they brought the entertainment level down just a little bit, they could squeeze in a few more matches and maybe tell even a few more stories. But then I hear my the devil and the angel on my shoulders here telling me different things, because at the end of the day, you can also do that in segments. You don't have to be in a match to tell stories. It just has to be done a certain way. So
Correct.
I don't know. WWE to me is firing on, if not all cylinders, almost all cylinders, and they certainly don't need nobody's help right now. So I don't need to keep giving them any kind of pointers.
They're hitting, man. I enjoyed thoroughly the programming this week. Like,
hey man, quiet as kept.
The programming this week, man.
If literally this was not Christmas season and I didn't have to take care of my wife, who's been amazing and she deserves me to take care of her, I would literally be buying both our tickets to Deadline front row, because they still got a couple tickets left. But
etiquette, that's going to be a good show.
Yeah, it is.
That's going to be a good show. You know what I'm saying? I was prepared to talk about AEW a little bit more than NXT. But I mean, shit, did you tap into NXT? Because I got notes. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know that I whatchamacallit. Where are we going here? We got to do a little switcheroo.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't know that I caught it as much as I kind of know a little bit about what happened. I heard homeboy Wesley got injured.
Prayers up to Wesley.
Yeah, and he's, we hope he's all right and all that, obviously. But yeah, so, I saw that. I didn't really see too much besides that. The internet was talking about Nikita Lyons. I don't know if she's back, but I just saw there was stuff trending about that, so I'm not sure really what happened there. But you could probably tell us more about what happened this week on NXT than anybody.
Lexis King's beard is atrocious.
Oh, God.
I can't take this guy seriously, yo. I just can't take him seriously, and he's a future NXT heavyweight champion. I'll go ahead and throw that out there now, but I can't take the beard and the jacking of Melo's phrase, and then it's just like, yo, dog, what are you doing here? He's got a what are you doing here type of vibe. Like, why are you here? So it's interesting.
I don't know. To me, it gives off like the whole like almost Jamie Kennedy vibe. Not in action, because he's not acting like he's not acting all thugged out, but he is like visibly, there's something going on there. I can't quite put my finger on it, but it's whatever it is, it ain't right. And I all luck in the world to the guy. I think he's super talented. I hope he does what he's meant to do. But I don't know. That beard is a really strange choice. It's just, like when I first saw Nelly and the Band-Aid was on his face, then I stopped thinking about it because it was just there forever. But it's like, I'm not really with the whole beard thing. Actually, respect. I'm not trying to disrespect Fat Joe. Fat Joe's beard is another beard that I look at and I'm like, I'm just not sure. I just don't know. I just don't know what it is, but I
Lexis King has that upside down McDonald. He got the golden arches. I don't know what.
Yeah.
Knuckle
No
beard.
doubt.
Like Al said, he got the knuckle beard.
Yo, did I not?
But all respect to Fat Joe. Fat Joe's a legend, so I shouldn't.
Y'all morphing into each other right now. Pause.
Wait, what? We are? What you mean?
Yeah.
Mad amusing to watch as I smoke this joint and drink this rosé and talk this wrestling. It's like y'all both like, it's like y'all turn into each other. Like one of y'all will just talk and the other one will just dub over each other. It's mad amusing.
I think I got us good now. Unless I don't know. I think we're straight.
Bang, we here.
Hey, whatever's going on out there in the world of technology.
RSC Trios champions.
But listen,
cheers to you.
AO is officially in the building now, so I'm just running it back. But whatever, let's decompress, reset, new topic, and hit the best theme music we got for right now. Hold on. You know what I'm saying? Just run this back.
Oh man, can you dig it?
Shouts out to Channel 33 in Connecticut. You know what it is if you were watching this on TNT Live. When this music hit, you know what I'm saying? This shit was something different. I don't care. My wife told me she'll get canceled. I'm still saying it. When I was younger, I always wanted the two-tone do-rag just because my boys Booker T and Stevie Ray were wearing it. You know what I'm saying? I realized it wouldn't look great. That's why I never put one on. But amongst other reasons. But it was a good time in our lives, ladies and gentlemen. Shouts out to WCW Monday Night Nitro. It was a great show. While it lasted.
What a time.
Yep.
Super heavyweights. Hey, yo. I was just talking
Yeah, what do you say about that, bro?
I was talking about having an open weight championship. I was like, yo, I feel like WWE would really benefit off it. Yes, we joke on AEW for having too many titles, but they have 2 companies, so go figure. So I was like, yo, if WWE had an open weight championship that went across Raw, SmackDown, NXT, that only was like yo, you got to be 275 and up, like, you know what I mean? Like, that's the type shit that, like, I think that would turn it up for me. Like, that's my one Christmas wish for WWE in 2024.
I dig it. That's like the Bronson Reed Invitational.
I mean,
Bronson Reed Invitational, because
you got Ivar, Otis.
No, there's a bunch of people in there. Yeah, there's a bunch of people I think that'll work for. Like Bronson Reed, man, he still has my favorite finisher in the E right now. Like that splash is like, I don't see how anybody ever kicks
It's
out.
just
You know?
the Big E classic, the meaty men slapping meat.
The meaty men. It would be fine. The thing with weight classes is like they don't ever commit to it. Like there's been times where we've had cruiserweights and they have a cruiserweight championship, and then later on in the show you have a cruiserweight contending for the heavyweight championship. It doesn't make sense, you know. Sometimes there's been times where you've had the heavyweight championship that's lighter than the Intercontinental. So if they actually did it and then commit to it,
that's fair. But you got to move up in rank.
No, in rank. But if you don't move up in weight, then stay in your weight class. You just vie for the top belt. Like in UFC, it works because you legitimately have to be like. There's only one title. There's no like second tier title in UFC. So if you're 135 and you win the 135 belt, you're the best in the 135 division. There is no US championship or whatever. So like that's the tough part. If they did it and they committed to it, because like even with MLW, I think you mentioned MLW. Like MLW has all of those weight classes, but even them, they don't really commit. Because there's times where people are just jumping weight classes, and it's like, well, you didn't jump in weight, so why are you competing for a different? But that being said, like if they did it in Progress Wrestling over in the UK, they used to have this shit called like the Thunder Bastard, right? It was basically just big dudes, like super heavyweights, and they were just slugging it out, and it was entertaining as hell. So if they did something similar, I'm for it. I'm for it. And those matches would be like 10-minute time limits. Like ain't nobody going 40 minutes at 400 pounds. You know what I mean?
Think about it. Like we got so many competitors that are already competing at different levels right now. Like there's no cruiserweight, but there's Intercontinental, which is where Gable and Ricochet and Shinsuke can be competing. Then you have the open weight where Bronson, Ivar, you know what I'm saying, Braun, like Otis can be competing. The tag team division is already locked up. The women's division, women's tag titles. It gives everyone that's on television, and it's 3 hours plus 2 plus 2, you know what I'm saying? Countless hours of WWE programming, a reason for us to be like, all right, I'm here for this guy, other than just like, I have nothing going on, so I'm going to have a rematch with you every week after I've lost to you and then beat you again and then lose to you, i.e. Natalia. And you know what I'm saying?
Word.
Countless other names that are just like, what are you doing here? Like, you're just here to just fill time, for real.
No word.
Open
I think you could do some dope shit like you mentioned if you get all those dudes in like a not a tournament style, but almost, you know, something like that where they're fighting some kind of tournament or something, and out of nowhere like Brock Lesnar's music hits at the end, and that's who they have to face at the end of it. It's like some Mortal Kombat shit.
That puts that belt over the top. Like that would literally have that be like, yo, Brock's back, but he's back to be the open weight championship. Like, nah, Brock versus Otis. He's going to slaughter this guy.
Yeah, word.
You know what I mean?
I'm looking forward to Brock
insert Jim
Gunther.
Ross quote. Yes.
I want to see Brock and Gunther, man.
For sure. Yeah, I'd like to see that too. I think that could be
I want to see
hell of
Brock
a match.
react to one of those Gunther chops.
I want to pivot real quick. Just want to get this anger out of here. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, shit.
Like I said, around the rings, we're just going to be discussing match quality. I'm a ringside club. I'm going to get all my fucking hating out. Get all the hate out.
Here we go.
Devil storyline.
Oh, shit.
Literally go to hell. I sat through Dynamite. Solid Dynamite. But that Devil storyline, yo, son. What is going on, man? Can we pack this up already, dog? Like, the whodunit every week is just like, dog, they have nothing else There's
Hey,
so
who framed Roger Rabbit, bro?
yes. Though the year-long Who Framed Roger Rabbit, and it ain't even been a year. It's probably been like 3 months, but it feels like a year. It feels like, yo, this is just a never-ending cycle of masked men, whodunits, and MJF just being laid out or not being laid out, or people being laid out. We still haven't seen the Acclaim.
I got a take
on the trios championships, and they haven't been seen on television in almost 30 days, yo. No trios even exist right now.
I won't accept pretty much anyone they have under that hood now. Like, whoever it is, I'm just not interested at this point. I feel like I was before.
Stone face look at the TV like.
I'm more interested in Samoa Joe and MJF's feud after whatever's going on right now than I am with what's going on right now. Like, I don't know, bro. Between Tony Khan telling us about the attendance and the booking that they got at Wembley next fucking year when nobody, who knows if we're even going to make it there, like God willing. It's just like, why are we booking so far? Let's just fucking book the goddamn show and realize we have real competition now. WWE is not just chilling, putting in their reserves. They have their starters in. Fucking shape up or ship out. There's some shit going on here.
Call me crazy, but I feel like y'all might agree, but I just wish MJF and Samoa Joe were just having a feud based on like pure wrestling and like jabs and egos. Just like the typical WWE like shtick of a feud. Like none of this like in an alternate universe, I was watching Dynamite like, yo, what if this whole devil thing didn't exist and these two just had a feud of just like, yo, I just want to be world champion. And MJF's just like, I already beat you, but I'm still going to keep out here just trucking on through and just defending my title until I get to you eventually. And just keep it simple, like some WWE shit. It doesn't have to be. I think I'm just fed up, y'all. I just had it.
I think the thing that we're fed up with is probably the thing that we can bring up that you didn't bring up yet, which is everyone's loving what's going on with Toni Storm for the most part. She just puts on a pretty good match with Sky Blue. Everything's great. Then all of a sudden, fucking Rio's music hits. Okay, we don't need MJF to have a banger feud or whatever. And I don't even have to be saying this right now. AO is so done with MJF that we don't even want. We don't even want to talk about the guy. But what I'm saying is, you can't have your world champion fight against who he's fighting against and put these different things in front of him, and then put him up against fucking what's this guy's name that doesn't even work there anymore. Fuego del Sol next week. Like, you can't do that. Like, you just can't. You can't. You have to keep this person in credible situations and shit that's like gonna make them want to keep watching. Roman Reigns is not, forget the schedule, forget the frequency of when he wrestles. Roman Reigns is not working with jobbers, bro. Like, you don't need to build your talent with your world champion. There's other ways to do it. And I just feel like we might need to pull out the fucking Duck Hunt cartridge, take a little alcohol, swab it on the end, let that shit air dry, and put it back in the NES and hope for the best, because I don't know what the fuck is going on right now.
I think like with Samoa Joe, the one thing that's kind of redeemable about this, as far as like speaking about competition, is the fact that the only reason Samoa Joe is protecting MJF is because he wants him at his best, so he can beat him at his best and win that title. But other than that, like,
their thread is impeccable between MJF and Samoa Joe. I feel like that's still hitting on all cylinders.
Yeah, but I'm saying like that's the one good thing that's kind of redeemable about the whole MJF universe. Let's say right now, you know what I mean? The Max verse, because like the devil thing, and again, like I just don't really like MJF as in his current role. You know what I mean? Like I think like he's played this baby face trying to get better, but I'm kind of still a heel and blah blah blah. I think long enough. You know what I'm saying? Like I think at some point, like I just want to see like what's the next phase of the AEW main event. That's really it. Like
I would
MJF
prefer
is very,
the
very
devil
talented, but I just don't believe him in this role as much.
I would
as
prefer the
did
devil
as a heel.
character to be Adam Cole at this point, as opposed to Britt Baker. I would like the devil character to be someone that could turn MJF back heel, because it's starting to dry up a little bit, in my opinion.
Because
it's not,
it has to hurt him. It has to hurt
he's
him.
amazing.
Like
MJF is amazing. He's
for this to make sense, it has to be somebody that, because like think about his whole character arc is like, I'm trying to become better. So it has to be somebody that's like, damn, I never thought it'd be you. You know what I'm saying? And Adam Cole is really that guy.
You can't keep building the house of cards and putting a new layer 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 and not have it eventually fall. And every time MJF goes out there and hugs Adam Cole and talks about he's his best friend in the media scrums and in the backstages with Renee Paquette and all these different shits, he's literally just saying and enforcing the fact that this house of cards is going to fall, and it's going to fall with the weight of 1,000 bricks, not 1,000 cards. It's going to fucking be terrible when it falls. So at the end of the day, should we just sit back and say, you know what? You're driving. I'll let you drive. I know we're going to get there. I'm not going to ask you if we're there yet. I'll just let you drive. Or do we just have this crazy PTSD? Because AEW, unfortunately, some people aren't catching the ball when it's thrown to them in a wide open field, or they're not calling the right play, and the defense is fucking, taking over on downs. So I don't know, yo. I'm excited to see what happens, in the sense that I'm a pro wrestling fan, and I can't wait to see it play out, and I hope it plays out in my favor. But I'm jaded because I don't know what they could possibly be doing right now. If Adam Cole's really injured, how could it be Adam Cole? I don't know. There's a lot going on. Edge and or Adam Copeland and fucking Christian, what do you got for me, Chad?
I was wrong.
Let's hear it.
I was wrong.
Let's hear
so
it.
So far, how long has Copeland been there? Let's say 2 months, 3 months, somewhere in that range.
Yep. Yeah, first loss last night.
Yeah. I think everything that I've seen him do has been good. Like the match with Christian was really, really good.
Yeah.
There's no critique. His promos, he cut the promo, the one promo he had, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago on Collision. Knocked it out of the park. I think is one of the best promos, at least of this quarter, if not this half of the year or the year in general.
They're doing the right things with some stories. I think they're doing great. I was just specifically mentioning the MJF story too, by the way, just to clear that up. Yeah, but go ahead.
Yeah, no, I was
just pleasantly surprised, right? Yeah,
absolutely. Because I'm not. Yeah. I've never been like a big. This is documented. There's like clips of this going around. Like I've never been a Copeland guy. Yeah.
Common.
He's good. I've never. Yeah. He's very common. I'm not gonna ever say that he's whack. He was just never like my flavor of ice cream. Pause if necessary. So I really, really have been pleasantly surprised how little I've had negative to say about his run thus far in AEW. And the run that Christian has been on, it's just like the perfect mix right now of like these guys that have this history that they can, build on. And the fact that both of them are just like Christian is doing career defining work, and Copeland came in and he's fitting seamlessly. So I was wrong. The match was fire the other night.
I would say this. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I've been talking too much. I want you to go ahead.
I looked at it from 2 different sides. All right. So the first time on the first watch, I was just a little bit annoyed because I felt like it was watching 2 old men fight. And, I was like, I think the end really like just took it into overdrive for me, because I was like, oh, fuck. I know the turn was going to happen. Like, I didn't want it to happen, but like, they gave it to us. Like, if there's anything that AEW does, is they will not hide the obvious. Like, they will throw their red herrings out there just like, hey, we're going to follow up on that too. Bob.
That was my only gripe with the whole match, by the way. I'll say it for 2 seconds. My only gripe with the whole match was not that they did what they did with Nick Wayne's mom, but I feel like it could have been tighter. Does that make sense? Do you know what I mean? Like
it dragged.
It felt super sloppy and felt like it wasn't believable. You know what I mean?
I think it was on its way. I could feel that. I could feel that coming before it even happened. Like, not just because it was internet banter and rumors and shit, but like I could feel that ending happening, because there's no Nick Wayne, there's no kill switch. There's no way that Edge just wins the TNT title and it's like, yay, fairy tale, it's all good. Because it's like, yo, I didn't believe that he'd win, and I knew it'd be a screwy finish. Perhaps Christian beating him clean, maybe not clean, but Christian getting the pin, Christian getting the visual pin. I was like, all right.
We know this is gonna end up with Edge. Here I go again. My bad. The artist formerly known as Edge, and Christian Cage, together in the same group at some point. This is gonna happen.
That's cool.
So what we do to get between now and then, when Christian turns on his entire faction for Adam Copeland, that'll be interesting to see.
What I wanted to just say on the other side, after I watched the second time, that was a really good match. I'm with y'all. Yeah. Down to the low blow, trying to get disqualified early so we can keep the title. Like, certain things that I just noticed on the second watch back, I'm just like, this is veteran shit. This is like very veteran wrestling. Like, all right, I watched it from an AEW like fan point on the first watch, and then I gave it like a good authentic WWE style knowledge, and I'm like, nah, they actually like they knew what the fuck they were doing. Like, good choice of a main event. Like, this is like
Christian
this is better than some indie shit. This is better than the Bucks. Like, this is better.
Christian is in his 50s, yes.
I think he's still in his 40s. I think both of them are like maybe. Yeah,
maybe
I don't know.
Apart.
They're both.
I don't know exactly.
A combined age of 100, though. That's a fact.
Right. Or they could be. Like, I think, they could be. To be honest, yeah.
They're about.
The only reason I was asking is just because I was going to say, like, look at, we championed how great, Billy Gunn was doing, and this is before he was in the trios situation, right? Speaking of which, where the fuck are those?
I'm saying
this is selling that injury.
They ain't been out. I mean, the trios
before the trios title, but then you have, you got a lot of your elder statesmen that are still holding it down, man. And I will say, in shout out to the Undertaker, who really, I want to say he fought. In my opinion, he fought until he couldn't fight anymore. Really, really, in my opinion, I think he laid it all out there. He left at a good point. I don't think any of us would really want to have that man put his body on the line anymore for us. He's done enough. I do see Christian having more of a run. I don't think it's over anytime soon. But I just kind of want to shout out these older guys that are older, by athletic standpoint. Yeah, veterans. Guys that have been here cross wrestling eras and generations. Like in rap, we got the blog era and all the different stuff that's going on, Generation Now, and all these different fucking things that are happening. I feel like Christian and Adam Copeland should be commended for what they're doing there, and for what they're not doing. Honestly, if you think about it, because they could be doing some real corny shit if they wanted to. We could be getting some, like AO was kind of dreading when we were first talking about Adam Copeland going to AEW, and we were kind of speculating on what was going to happen, and we were all saying, nah, I don't want to see that shit, like, or certain things that they were going to do, and they haven't done that yet. So we'll see.
Yeah, I'm here for the ride. Pause. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Like,
so far, so good. Like, I don't have anything negative to say about a promo that he's cut, or a match that he's had, or an angle that he's been involved in, and that's wrestling. Those three parts. I'm just
very glad.
3 checks.
On this day, you see clearly that everything has come to light.
I have no problem ever saying I'm wrong, bro.
And a broken dream.
I got one more topic for AEW, Chad. You might already have this on the docket, so you let me know if you have an additional or if this is it. But I would say it's also very interesting and very exciting to see Swerve and Mox both have the same amount of points in this Continental Classic. I think this is going to be good, man.
I'm not complaining about this tournament. Like, everybody just wants to have a problem about it for some reason. I'm just like I said, I'm here for the wrestling, yo.
Right.
But like the story, this is what I love. This is the stories. There's so many stories in here. Right now, the story is like you have guys like Swerve and Mox that are the clear-cut front runners, right? And now this is like the main event of their whole league right now, next week. You have guys like Jay Lethal and Mark Briscoe who can play spoiler, right? They haven't won yet, but depending on who they match up with, like
spoiler for everybody else.
Exactly. Jay White, for instance, is right on the cusp. He has 3 points less, 1 win less. You know what I mean? So these are the stories. And then
tournament though.
No, they can't win a tournament, but they can play spoiler for somebody else. Like there's 2 more matches, both for Swerve and for Mox. You know what I mean? So let's say Mox beats Swerve next week. Mox can still lose his last match and Swerve win his last match, and then they're both tied. And then we got to figure out how we get the winner out of that bracket to even go to the finals. You have guys that are still selling injuries. Like this shit is just fire to me. Like you can build stories around matches. There's physical storytelling. There's, point sports based storytelling, and this shit is just fun to watch. It's fun to watch. But yeah, that's the main event. That's the slobber knocker. And then between that and we got Brian is wrestling on Rampage and on Collision.
Word.
That boy wrestling.
Yeah.
This tournament's gonna be fun for the most part. Like it's gonna be good. World's End, you know what I'm saying? Y'all might catch us live. You know what I mean? Send that live right in the backyard. Fuck with it. I'm on deck.
Word.
It's round robin tournament, Continental Classic. It's occupying the time. The wrestling is quality, and I'm rocking. You know what I'm saying? I'm rocking with it.
I told Dizza I was about to pull some Funk Flex shit and drop his new single an hour before it drops at midnight. And he hit me with the crying face. So I'm not sure if that crying face means don't do that shit or yo, Boog, do that shit.
Man, said the Ringside Club exclusive is amazing.
Because I'm affiliated with the label it's being released on, I'm gonna err on the side of caution and not release it. But
I'm always down for not fucking up the money.
I will say, tune in to Smoke Dizza's channel and Good Talk Music's channel at midnight, because there is a good one on the way, and it may or may not have a very prominent pro wrestler on the song. So, anyway, you heard it here first. So, well, you didn't, but that's just because I have tact. But you could have heard it here first if I was a piece of shit. So yeah,
yo,
no doubt.
Tact being mentioned like on a wrestling podcast is great.
Yeah,
that's episode title.
You know what I'm saying?
This episode is called Tact.
Tact.
This shit is called Tact. Have some couth, you fucking unfurly piece of shit.
You
all right, here we go. Listen,
uncivilized vermin.
On that fucking note, let's get the outro survey going, man.
Charles Barkley with the right guard gel stick. I remember the commercial. You know what I'm saying? Anything less would be uncivilized.
Uncivilized.
Outro survey. Let's think. What the fuck we got here?
What we doing with the outro survey?
What are we doing for an outro?
We haven't had surveys in a minute, so I feel like we should have a good one there.
All right. Okay.
Hey, yo, you came through last, so pause. Say what you know. Come up with a good one.
I'm floating, man. I'm just
I got it.
Body moving.
I got
around.
one for you.
Shoot.
With current talent, non-injured, book Jade Cargill's first opponent in WWE.
I can go first. I would go Nia Jax because I think the Nia Jax move is like, we know to keep Jade Cargill special, you have her pull off a power move on Nia Jax. She's the biggest woman in that division, so you have her with either the body slam, the power bomb, whatever she thinks she can do, or whatever they work on ahead of time, and have her perform that so we can get that holy shit chant on Jade's first whatever she does. So yeah, Nia Jax.
What you got, Chad?
I like Nia Jax, but I'm just going on a wild card and just say interchangeable woman from NXT.
All right. I respect it. There's a lot of talent down there. Lash Legend just fucking picked up Otis and threw him.
I'm saying Otis. That's why I was like, it wouldn't surprise me if they're just like, all right.
Yo, Chad.
We're gonna start you off
Chad.
a little late right now.
Can I get some fucking respect here for even knowing that Lash Legend exists, bro? Can I get something here? Like, come on now.
Yo, man went to House of Glory. Now he's officially Indie Bug.
You know what I'm saying? I'm Indie Bug, family.
Work rate.
Yo, no, my man gonna be watching Pants Strong.
Nah, on some real shit. Ayo, I'm clairvoyant, bro. I had no idea they even do this at the live events, but you could catch me on One Fall with Blaine Boogie here on the Ringside Club Network real soon.
You heard?
And you know what I'm saying? But my pick for this, honestly, it might be obvious, it might be low hanging fruit, but you can't have Jade Cargill come in and make an impact unless she beats Charlotte Flair. So I put her against Charlotte Flair first, and I can't wait to see that match because I feel like maybe behind the scenes they already got her working with her. I feel like maybe she's helping her become seasoned right now. If you want me to be honest with you, I don't know. I don't think that there's anybody better for her to learn under than the most winningest champion in the building, second or third to Randy Orton and John Cena. So,
yeah,
that's that.
This was a good episode, guys. I'm glad AO popped in, man. He helped us out a lot. It would have just been me and Chad here sitting here fucking drinking whiskey all night and fucking slobbering all over the fucking podcast. But
we here. RSC shit, you know what I mean?
Yeah, episode 65 in the books. And you know what? We made it all the way through the episode without introducing ourselves. So for AO Baker, I'm Blaine Boogie. This is Chad Law, holding it down for Ronnie Orton. And we're getting the fuck out of here. You guys have a good night. Be safe. You heard?
Y'all ready?